Now, also with you, everyone always talks about how the check. If you win the battle royal, you cash the check. I'm trying to remember who was the promoter.
Shut up, John. I'm going to object to that, vehemently object to that. You don't really have any hard evidence. You know that. I mean, come on.
Yes, true.
Documentation beats conversation. We've heard that. But go ahead.
But every time I see one of those checks, I immediately think of you because my nephew won a bowling thing, and he got one of those checks. And I said, is that real? Like, no, it's not a real check. And I said, you know what? I go, there's a famous wrestler, Austin Idol, that they thought, it's not a real check. You could actually cash that. I don't know if they actually cash. I'm going to have to follow up with my sister-in-law. But I said, you could actually cash that check.
I don't want to take a look at that, Chase. Yeah. And if they don't want cash, just send it down here to me.
Yeah, it was pretty good, though. I mean, he was only, I think, 8 or 9, but it was for a couple $100. I said, I think you could cash that at your bank.
I mean, was it like a tournament? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bowling tournament, yep.
And he won the tournament? He won it?
Yep.
Well, maybe the check's real.
I know, that's what I think.
Well, that's one way to find out. Take it to the bank.
Yep, that's what I said. Now, you did that as well, didn't you? Isn't that a fact?
Yeah, exactly what I did, sure.
What was the promotion, and who was the promoter?
Well, it was in Atlanta, so I was wrestling for, it would have been under the Georgia Championship wrestling umbrella, but it was a one-night only thing in Columbus, Ohio. Fred Ward was the promoter in Columbus. So it was Fred Ward in Columbus, Ohio. No, not Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Georgia.
And you win the battle royal. Obviously,
yep.
they give you and you literally just took it and brought it home and brought it to the bank.
It was a real check. Well,
what did he think, though? He thought that you were just going to throw in the garbage, or like, what did he like? You're not going to really take the check?
Well, I wasn't really thinking about it. I mean, Fred Ward came into the ring. The battle royal was over. I win the battle royal. He comes in, has his suit on, promoter suit on, and gets the microphone and makes a little announcement and hands me a check. I didn't even look at it. Just folded it up and kind of put it in my tights and, raised my hand and went back to the dressing room and, taking my tights off to get in the shower, and then there's the check, which I'd already forgotten about it. Really didn't even think twice about the check, and I looked at it, and the check said made out to Austin Idol. It was made out to Austin Idol, $5,000, and the purpose of the check was winner of the Battle Royal. And it was a company check. And I kind of looked twice at it. I thought, well, that's a legitimate check, but I really didn't think anything about it, and put it in my bag, and I flew back to, where was I living? I think I was living in Tampa at the time, Tampa, Florida, and took the check and put it like in a sock drawer. And then I don't know if it was 2, 3 months, 4 months later. I really don't remember, but it was a little while later that I was coming up to the Carolinas. It was for Christmas, take a little trip to the Carolinas. I was going to drive it. So I was just packing some stuff, and I stumbled on the check. And when I stumbled on it, I looked at it and said, maybe it was so out of date. I mean, really, it was like 3 or 4 months old, the check. I looked at it and said, and Fred Ward had a reputation. I mean, I really pretty much typically don't say anything negative about anybody, but everybody knew he had a reputation. He was very, very stingy and greedy. That's the nicest way I can put it. Very stingy and greedy when it came to compensating wrestlers who appeared in his town. He was but we always made it up in the other towns where Jim Barnett was just the opposite. He was very generous. So you go to Columbus, Georgia, and say, okay, you're not going to get what you deserve, but Barnett will make it up from the other towns. So it all works out fine. But he was very stingy and greedy, and everybody knew it. All the wrestlers knew it, They all knew that this guy, oh boy, he's going to get us again. So anyway, that was really kind of my motivation, to tell you the truth. So, well, you know what? Maybe it's time for a little payback. So I took the check with me, driving up to the Carolinas, and stopped in Atlanta. Yeah, stopped in Atlanta. Walked into the bank where I used to do my banking when I was, wrestling in Georgia. That's where I did my banking. I had no account or anything. Just walked up, said hi to the teller, whoever she was. So I'd like to cash this check. How would you like it? I said hundreds would be fine. $5,000 in hundreds.
Wow, awesome.
I thought it was awesome.